Hey guys, Shauna here, and today we're going to be doing a 30-minute, a little bit more advanced intermediate flow. I know some of you wanted a bit more of a challenge, so this is going to be still accessible for most people, but it's going to be a little bit more of a workout, a little bit faster pace, more strength and dynamic movement, less static stretching. We are going to start with a little bit of a warm-up though. We're going to go ahead and settle into our easy seat. So whatever that easy seat may be, cross-legged, Baddha Konasana, whatever feels good for you. We're going to inhale, lift, lengthen the spine, engage the abdominals, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back, open up nice and wide, like you're going to touch your elbows behind you, shoulders draw down. Good, breathe here. We're going to go ahead and bring our hands to our knees. Just do one quick minute of breathing before we get moving. And just check in with yourself. Come back to yourself. Come to your breath. Let go of anything that's bothering you or that you're worrying about. And just focus on being here right now on your mat, making time for yourself. Good, breathing in and out through the nose. Taking your time. Noticing your posture. I'm gonna go ahead and just do some shoulder shrugs. We're gonna shrug our right shoulder up, left shoulder reaches down, and then other side. Left shoulder up, right shoulder down. And you can find some motion with it. We're gonna be doing more dynamic movement, so we wanna get warmed up so we can add a little bit of wiggle to it. Again, this is not, a lot of the stuff that we'll do is not yoga poses with a specific name, but it's just general movement. So just go ahead and wiggle it out. We're gonna go ahead and inhale, arms up. Arms open wide, palms up, and we're just gonna reach from side to side. So reach and then reach. This is engaging the obliques to help move us back and forth. Good, pulling. You can go ahead and rotate your hands down if you want, actually. Pretend to grab and pull. Good, breathe here. Getting warmed up. Inhale, seat both arms up. Exhale, nice big stretch, open, nice and wide. Wiggle your fingers. Good, draw the shoulders down from the ears. Good, inhale up. Exhale, roll right over your knees onto your tabletop, into your tabletop. So onto your hands and knees. Knees about hips width apart, hands underneath shoulders, slight bend in your elbows, making sure we're not dumping into the joints here. We're gonna go through some cat-cow to get us warmed up a little bit further. We're gonna inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. But in our cat-cow, we wanna make sure we're not dumping into the low back, so we're gonna zip that belly button in towards our spine. So again, inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, but engage the abdominals. Chin into the chest, round the spine, protracting the shoulders, pushing through. Good, inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift that tailbone high, engage the abdominals. Exhale, chin into your chest, rounding the spine. Good, inhale, lift the chin, lift that tailbone. Really sink into those shoulders, into that back. Maybe wiggle your tailbone a little bit here. Go ahead, exhale, chin into your chest, round the spine. One more, inhale, lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone. Good, exhale, chin to your chest, round the spine. Good, come back to your tabletop, and we're just gonna go through a little bit of our dancing lion. So we're not gonna spend too long on this, but we're just gonna get ourselves a little bit more warmed up. We're gonna make these big circles with our hips, coming around. Good, and like I say, try to get all the peanut butter out of the jar. Nice big round circles. Take your time. You can switch directions, take whatever movement feels good for you right now. You can sit back and wiggle it. You can come forward, come into a quick little cobra and wiggle it, whatever feels best for you. Just find any free-flowing movement to get yourself warmed up. I like to sometimes come into a cobra and swivel my hips side to side. Good. Bend the knees wherever you are. Sit back for a nice quick child's pose. Good. Breathe in and out through the nose. Take a second here. If you need to do any more warming up before getting into some standing poses, I encourage you to pause this and do so. Go ahead and take any extra movements. This is meant to be focusing on a bit of a more fast-paced flow. So we are about to get moving. So take this time, like I said, pause it, take this few moments to do anything else that you might need to before we start going into our down dog. All right, so go ahead and wherever you are, come back to your tabletop. We're gonna come into our down dog. So we're gonna tuck the toes, bend the knees, push the hips back, drop the heels if we can. And as always, it is more important for our back to be straight than for our legs. So this kind of down dog is way better than this kind of down dog. Okay, so we wanna make sure our back is straight and our knees are okay to be bent. We're gonna pedal out our heels now, heels up and down, making sure we're kind of rotating the biceps away from the ears. Good, elbow creases coming forward. We're gonna go ahead and bring our weight into our left foot. Inhale that right leg nice and high, keeping the hips stacked, so we're not opening yet. Breathing here, hips are nice and stacked. Breathing in and out through the nose. Sorry, hips are nice and level, they're not stacked yet. So we're here with our hips level. We're gonna go ahead and inhale up a little bit higher. Now stacking the hips, stacking the left on top of the right, bending the right knee, rolling out the right ankle. Good, breathe here. I'm gonna go ahead and inhale back to center, squaring the hips. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Nice little oblique crunch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow underneath across the body. Good, breathe here. Inhale, back up. Lift, come onto the left toes, breathe, breathe, breathe. Exhale, plant the right foot, walk your hands to your feet. So we're gonna go ahead and walk back. Inhale, halfway lift, nice deep bend in the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Good, exhale, fold. Walk our hands back forward. We're gonna go through our flow. You have the option to go right to your down dog if you don't wanna go through the flow. If you want to, you can go ahead and shift forward, come into plank, lower slow chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here, coming into the left side, pedaling your heels out. Again, taking a few breaths. Go ahead and inhale that left leg up nice and high, bringing our weight into our right foot, squaring our hips down. Good, breathe here. Again, in and out through the nose. Take a second here. We're not stacking just yet. One more nice deep inhale. Go ahead and stack that left hip on top of the right, bend the left knee, roll out the left ankle. Good, breathe here. We're gonna go ahead and inhale, lift, lengthen, square back to center. Inhale, left leg up, exhale, left knee to left elbow, nice little oblique crunch. Inhale, left leg back up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, back to center. Lift up onto the right toes, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, left foot meets the right. Go ahead and walk your feet to your hands this time. So go ahead and tiptoe up. Find your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees deep. Bring your belly to your thighs. Exhale, fold forward. Shake your head yes and no here. And again, it's okay if your knees are bent. It's okay if you can't fully extend just yet. Take your time wherever you are. Go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank. Engage here in your plank, find your balance. Engage your core, push through your heels. Lower slow chaturanga, elbows in close to the body. Shoulders rolling down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Thighs are lifted. Good, breathe here, bend the knees, push back down dog. Good. Bring your weight into our left foot once again, inhaling the right leg up nice and high. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose this time, rounding the spine, pushing your shoulders away from the earth, protracting here, stepping right on through. Good, so making sure that if our foot doesn't come all the way through, we take our hand to our heel, shift it up, knee is over our ankle. Inhale, arms up for our high lunge. Breathe here, try to square your hips, engaging all the muscles of the thigh to keep our knee right in the center. Good, breathe here. If you want, you can come cactus arms, open up the shoulders. Good, breathe in and out through the nose. Notice those glutes firing already. We're gonna come into a twist, and it's okay if you wanna take a second and take a modified twist for this one. We're gonna take the left elbow, take it out to the outside of the right knee. Bring our hands together. And if it's too much for you to stay here, feel free to drop the back knee, but if you can, try to stay lifted here. And again, we're not collapsing here, we're lifting, lengthening, using our obliques to help turn us and lift us, pushing through that back heel, pulling our knees together, stabilizing. Good, breathe here. If your knee is down, go ahead and try to lift for a moment. We're gonna go ahead and jump up into our twisted chair. So we're gonna go ahead and bring our weight forward into this right foot and step that left foot, meet the right, come right into a bend for our twisted chair here. Good, breathe here. In and out through the nose, sink a little bit deeper if you can. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Shift forward into our plank here. Come forward, chaturanga, lower slow. Inhale, upward facing dog, draw the shoulders down from the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog, breathe. Take 2 nice deep breaths here. Good, go ahead and inhale that left leg up nice and high. Exhale, knee into your nose this time. Hugging it in, protracting the shoulders, stepping through to our high lunge. Again, making sure that our heel is not behind our knee. Inhale up, lift, lengthen, engage the abdominals, push through those quads, push through the back heel. Inhale, arms up. Then you take a second here, open up into cactus arms. Good, breathe here. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Try not to dump too far into that low back, engaging the lower abdominals, pulling that pelvis in. Good, same thing on the other side. We're gonna take this right elbow, bring it to the outside of our left knee. Lift, lengthen here and twist. And again, if you need to bring this right knee down, that's okay as well. Just breathe wherever you are. Good, in and out through the nose. One more nice deep breath. If your knee is lowered, go ahead and lift. Bring your weight into our left foot, getting ready to step that right foot up to meet. Go ahead and step the right foot up to meet the left. Come into our twisted chair. Good, breathe here. Sink deep, I know your quads are probably firing. Breathe, in and out the nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Take a second here, heel till your feet match with distance apart. We're gonna bend our knees and go side to side. Good, so if you want, you can let your arms be heavy and sway back and forth. You can leave your hands on the ground, whatever feels best for you. Just take any movement that you might need here. Good, maybe shift side to side. We're gonna nice and slow, heel to our feet back together. Bend the knees deep. Inhale, sweep the arms up, Utkatasana, our chair pose without the twist. So knees are bent, pelvis is tucked, tailbones pointing down. Inhale, reach up, breathe, breathe, breathe. Sink a little deeper for one breath. Good, inhale all the way up, nice big stretch. Exhale, release your hands to your sides. Let's take a second here. Wiggle it out if you need. Shake it out, we're halfway through. Don't worry, it's not all gonna be super intense. Go ahead, inhale, sweep the arms up. Nice little baby back bend if you can. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. You can step, jump, or float back. If you are familiar with jumping and floating back, please do so safely and with bent arms. If not, just step back to your plank. Lower slow chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, bend the knees, sit back, child's pose. Good, take a few seconds here before we go into our next standing sequence. Breathe in and out through the nose. Take a second to ground down, catch your breath if you need to. Remember that if at any time that you are just not able to do something or just not feeling it today, you can always return to child's pose. I don't care if you just sit in child's pose for the whole 30 minutes, that's still yoga. So whatever feels good for you is what you need to take. One more nice deep breath, maybe try to bring those sit bones closer to the heels. Good, go ahead and start lifting back up into our tabletop. You have the option here to go right into your down dog or come into plank, do a quick little push-up, and then go through your flow. And if you're like, absolutely not, no thank you, just meet me in down dog. Go ahead and breathe here. Pedal it out once again. Inhaling the right leg up nice and high. Exhale, we're gonna go ahead and bring our right knee to our right elbow again. Obliques once again. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right knee into nose, rounding the shoulders, protracting, stepping through. This time we're gonna turn our back foot 45 degrees. Good, we're gonna come right into our warrior two, so we're making sure that this right heel is in line with the instep of the left foot. Inhale, cartwheel the arms open, nice and wide, warrior two. Again, making sure our knee is not past the ankle, drawing our shoulders down from our ears, reaching forward, looking forward. So not really reaching, sorry, just looking forward, but our body is staying square in the middle here. Good. Breathe here, in and out through the nose. We're gonna come into our reverse warrior. So we're gonna go ahead and flip the front palm facing up. Reach forward and then reach back. Good, left hand slides down the left thigh. Breathing here, making sure we're not dumping into our spine again, keeping that tailbone nice and tucked, knitting the ribs in. Good, come back to our warrior two. So sink a little bit deeper into that right thigh. Good, breathe, we're gonna straighten it soon, don't worry. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more reverse warrior, flip the palm, reach back, left hand slides down the thigh. Good, breathe here. Inhale, lengthen, straighten out the right leg. So go ahead and straighten out that right leg there. Hands are gonna come back to our warrior arms and we're gonna come into our extended triangle pose. So we're gonna reach forward, palm facing down, and then hinge at the hips here. So we don't wanna just collapse down. We wanna try to lift still using our core, and we're not rotating our shoulders forward. We're keeping them nice and stacked. It's more lateral flexion than rotation. We have several variations here. You can bring your hand to the floor. If you have or need a block, you can bring your hand to a block. You can also bring your hand to your shin. You can lift just with your core or grab the toes. Just wherever you are, making sure you're not hyperextending through this right knee. You want to have a slight little bend to make sure you're actually flexing and protecting the muscles. So breathe here. One more nice deep breath. Really reach like you're going to touch the ceiling. We're gonna go ahead and cartwheel our left hand down to meet the right, turn our left heel up, toes are facing forward, lower our left knee, come into our Anjaneyasana crescent lunge. So we're gonna breathe here, making sure that our ankle is in front of our knee and just sink into this left hip. Good, breathe here. You can untuck the toes if that feels better for you. And breathe in out through the nose. Take your time. Really sinking into that left hip, making sure that you're pulling that right hip back to keep yourself squared and then coming forward. Good, breathe here. We're gonna go ahead and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, frame the foot, walk the right foot all the way to the outer edge of your mat, bringing both hands to the inside of your right foot for our lizard pose. And again, there's several variations of lizard. You can keep this back knee down. If you want, you can go ahead and lift it. Or if you are more trying to get a bit deeper into the hips and you are able to do so, you can come down onto your forearms. So whatever feels best for you in this pose. You can also, if your knees are not compromised in any way, you can start coming onto the outer edge of the right foot, letting that knee open up more. Again, take whatever variation of lizard feels best for you. Listen to your body. I always say listen to me, but listen to your body first. We all have different, no matter what, everyone feels something differently. So breathe here. One more nice deep breath in whatever variation of lizard you are taking. If you are on your forearms, you can start working your way back to your hands. Start planting that right foot flat again. Bring your weight into our hands. Bring your hands right into the center, tucking our left toes, lifting the left knee. Coming to this lifted lizard here. We're gonna try to step right up into our Malasana, and it's okay if you have to take some baby steps to get there. We're gonna step the left foot right to the outside of our left hand. And then we're gonna go ahead and try to squat down as best we can. And it's okay if our Malasana is here, that's all right. But if you can, eventually come down, and it's okay if your feet are facing outwards. Just breathe wherever you are. If you have crow in your practice and you would like to play with some arm balances and go into crow, feel free to do so. Again, only if you have it in your practice and you know how to do it safely. Otherwise, just breathe in your Malasana. When you're ready to come out of it, feel free to go into a forward fold, go through your flow, and meet me in child's pose. So if you want, go ahead, lift up, fold forward, walk your feet back, go back to plank, chaturanga, and then up dog and child's pose. If you'd like to go into crow, you're gonna go ahead and bend your knees deep, bring your elbows into your armpits, plant the palms, shift forward, maybe lift one foot, then the other, and then jump back. Lower slow chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Meet me in child's pose. So breathe here. We're gonna get into the other side of the body here. So again, take a few breaths, ground down. Nice and slow. We're gonna go through our puppy pose real quick before we come to our tabletop. So from our child's pose, our puppy pose, we just walk our hands forward, keep our chest low, and lift our hips. So it's like we're a puppy getting ready to play. So breathe here. This is also called heart to earth pose. Good, and then just slowly slither back to child's pose. Good. Coming through to our tabletop once again, engaging the core, feeling all this strength in our body here. Go ahead and tuck the toes, lift the knees, shift the hips back, downward facing dog. Good, breathe here, pedal it out. Inhale that left leg up nice and high. Exhale, left knee in to your left elbow. Nice little oblique stretch. Inhale back up. Exhale, left knee into your nose, protracting the shoulders, holding here, stepping that left foot through. And again, we're gonna come right into our warrior two. So we're turning that right foot on a 45-degree angle, dropping the heel, pushing into the outer edge of the right foot, cartwheeling the arms open. Coming into our warrior two here. Good, breathe, sink in to that left thigh, drawing the shoulders down from the ears, looking forward. Again, we're making sure we're not hyperextending any of these joints. So we're really pushing into that outer edge of the right foot to help keep us from hyperextending the knee. Tucking that tailbone down, breathe here. Flipping the left palm, reaching up and back, sliding the right hand down for our reverse warrior. Good, breathe here. Good, come back to warrior two, sink a little bit deeper into that left thigh. Good, breathe in and out through the nose. Good, flipping the left palm, reaching forward, up and back. Sliding that right hand down, maybe sink a little bit deeper. Good, breathe here. And in and out the nose. Don't worry, we're gonna relieve it soon. Inhale, lengthen, straighten out that left leg. Micro bend in the knee. Arms come back to a T. Reach forward with that left hand, hinging at the hips. Coming down into our extended triangle pose. Good, breathe here. And again, take whatever variation feels the best for you. There's several variations. If you'd like to really work the core, engage the QL, come here. If you want to get even deeper, opening up the hips, you can come a little bit lower. We're always trying to make sure that we're nice and stacked on top of each other in this pose though, never rotating our spine. One more nice deep breath, breathing here. Cartwheeling our right hand to frame the left foot, right toes go ahead and point forward, right heel lifts, drop the right knee, come into our Anjaneyasana, untuck the toes. Breathing here, inhale, lifting, lengthening. We have a couple options here in our Anjaneyasana. We can bring our hands to our thigh. We can inhale the arms up. Sink nice and deep into this right hip again. And once again, making sure you're squaring the hips forward and then coming down. Good, breathe wherever you are. Take your time. Good. And in and out through the nose. Nice and slow. Sink a little bit deeper. Go ahead and frame the foot. Take both hands to the inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot to the outer edge of your mat. We're going to come into our lizard pose on the left side. So once again, there's several variations. You can keep your hands just as they are. Knee down. You can lift the leg. You can go ahead onto your forearms or come to the outer edge of the left foot. Whatever feels best for you. Whatever you did on the other side. And again, always be mindful that you may not be as open on each side. This side might be tighter, might be more open. It's okay. Just let yourself be wherever you are each day. And breathe. And one of the things too is that, I mean, you guys have probably heard me say this a lot, but it's always yoga practice, not yoga perfect. So if something isn't the same way that it was the other day, or if you're just not feeling it, it's okay. This is always a practice. Okay? It's never about perfection here. It's about feeling good. So one more nice deep breath wherever you are. Maybe sink a little bit more into that hip. If you are on your forearms, come up to your hands. If your foot is on the outer edge, ground down that left foot, tucking the right toes, lifting the right heel, stepping into our Malasana once more. So making sure, maybe take a little bit of a bounce first, step the right foot outside the right hand, lower down into your yoga squat, into your Malasana. And if you're easily sitting here, you can go ahead and bring your hands together, elbows inside your knees, opening up here. The goal is to have your spine be straight, not rounded in here. So we want to try to open up the shoulders. And again, this will come with time. It's okay if you're still here where you're a bit rounded or you're a bit lifted. It's just all progress over time. And yoga is one in particular where it's slow progress. So don't beat yourself up if you're not there yet. Good, one more nice deep breath wherever you are. And then if we can, either using our hands or just sitting right back, we're just gonna plop onto our butts. Good, and we're gonna come right to a Baddha Konasana. That's gonna feel real nice. So go ahead and bring your feet to touch. Let your hips open up out to the sides. Go ahead and scoot your hips behind your shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. We're gonna exhale, hinge and fold. Good, breathing here. Take a second. Making sure we're reaching forward first and then coming down. Breathing in and out through the nose. Again, the goal is not to bring your head to your feet, but your chest. So breathe wherever you are. Go ahead and inhale up. Zip the knees together. And again, this is a little bit more advanced flow. So we're gonna do a little tiny bit of core before we get moving. We're gonna come into our Navasana, which is our boat pose. So we're gonna go ahead and bring ourselves onto our sit bones. So not our tailbone, we're not going far onto our tailbone. We're actually coming to the bottom of the pelvis, which is our ischium. And that's what we're referring to when we say the sit bones. So we're coming onto these sit bones. And the first variation, we're just gonna hug our arms behind our thighs and hold them in. Crossing one ankle over the other. Noticing our posture, trying to keep our shoulders up and back. Good, breathe here. If this is easy for you, we're gonna go ahead and release our hands to the sides. Knees are still bent. Good, and if we wanna go a little bit farther, we extend all the way up. Breathe here. Good, engage, engage, engage. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Exhale, release the feet down. Good, we're gonna do one more. So one more, whatever variation feels best to you. Setting yourself up on your sit bones here, hugging your knees into your chest. This is really good for strengthening our psoas. So we're really engaging our lower abdominals and our psoas here, and breathing here. Good, breathe, breathe, breathe. Good, and if we can, we're gonna try to lower slow all the way onto our back. So really engage our core, lower all the way down. Good, 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 good. Good, inhale, arms up above our head, release. Nice big stretch. And exhale, relax. We're gonna do a quick little back bend before we finish up here. We're gonna work our way into our bridge pose. So go ahead and bend your knees. Bring them close to your sit bones, bring them up to your butt. And real quick before we go into this, just to help relieve the psoas from that last Navasana, we're just gonna swivel our feet and our knees from side to side. So quick little windshield wipers side to side. Really release a little bit of that tension that we just felt in our psoas. Our hip flexors over here. Good, and then come back to center. Grounding down our feet close to our sit bones. Shrugging our shoulders underneath our back. You can go ahead and see if you can get your feet close enough for your middle finger to touch your heels. Ground the hands down, pushing into the palms. We're gonna slowly contract the hamstrings as we contract the glutes and lift the hips up into our bridge pose. So we're just gonna go ahead and start slowly lifting, coming up, breathing here. We have several options. If we want, we can go ahead and bring our hands underneath us to support us, or we can go ahead and shrug the shoulders under even further and try to interlace our fingers behind our back. And again, we're engaging those glutes and those hamstrings to push those hips up. Good, breathe here. Good, nice and slow. We're gonna lower down. Take our time. Maybe swivel your hips back and forth once more. And then we're gonna take one more bridge with the option, if we are familiar with wheel, to go into wheel. So if you're like, I'm okay with bridge, I'm gonna stay at bridge, go ahead and work your way into another bridge pose. If you would like to practice going into full wheel, same feet position as our bridge pose, but our arms are gonna come and our hands are gonna frame our head, fingertips facing our shoulder, thumbs like they're going in our ears. Right? And we want to make sure our elbows aren't flaring out. Our elbows are pointing straight back. So we're going to lift our hips like we do in bridge. Then we're just going to go ahead and shift our weight into our hands and lift ourselves up this way. And if this is too much, that's okay. You can just stay in your bridge. Just find whatever feels best for you. Be mindful of your body and go slow. Okay, so breathe one more second if you're in wheel. Take your time there. And again, only do this if you're feeling comfortable with it. And take it slow. I want you to always be mindful and aware of your body. Wait until you feel really comfortable in bridge first before you take your wheel. Wherever you are, you can nice and gently start coming down. Ground your back down to the mat. Notice how you feel. Notice if your back feels more open. Just to counteract that back bend a little bit, we're gonna swivel our hips once more. And we're gonna come in and bring our knees into our chest. So nice and slow, knees into our chest, rounding our spine, really pushing that middle back into the mat, hugging our knees in nice and tight. Rocking side to side. Good, breathe here. Take a second. come back to your breath. And again, that was a much more strenuous, much faster paced flow. So you can also give yourself a pat on the back for doing it. And breathe. Maybe close your eyes for a second and just nice big exhales through the mouth. Good. Go ahead and inhale the arms up above us. Inhale the legs up high into the sky. Feet stepping on the ceiling for a quick little waterfall pose. Nice big L shape here. Breathing in and out through the nose, bending the knees, pulling the thighs in towards the belly, and then reaching up to the heels. Good, flexing the toes towards the face. Wiggle your toes out, wiggle your fingers. Nice and slow, knees into your chest. Let your feet fall open into a Supta Baddha Konasana real quick. Take a second here, let your hips open. And just gently work your way to your legs out straight into your Shavasana. Take a second here, come back to your breath. Again, inhale and exhale through the nose. Settle in. Maybe you shrug your shoulders underneath. Again, you can pause here and go into meditation, or if you are about to go about your day, just take this one last minute to just close your eyes and breathe. Everyone can spare at least 1 minute to breathe. And breathing in and out through the nose. Just letting everything go. Wherever you are, maybe start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your awareness into the room around you. And very gently begin to bring your knees into your chest. Hug them in once more and rock side to side. And then just as slow as you can at your own pace with your eyes closed or with a nice soft gaze, we're just going to roll over onto our left side. Take a second here, maybe hang out in the fetal position for a minute, maybe use your arm as a pillow. And then just gently use your right hand to help sit you back up to our Sukhasana, our easy seat. Take your time. Find this easy seat, find your length in your spine, find your posture, notice how your body feels. Notice how warm you feel, notice if your back feels open after that back bend. Just go ahead and inhale, lift, lengthen, draw the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back. Good, breathe here, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through to your heart, lifting your sternum to your thumb. And just take a second here to thank yourself for making the time to do this today. And I thank you guys for showing up and doing this with me. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this one, and I hope you have a great day.